So welcome to my thoughts and reactions of the 2019 Xbox E3 conference. There was a lot to take in, and I just want to say that I will be talking about all of the games in a row, most of them anyways, because there was quite a few games to get through, and I'm going to show my reaction to some of the games being shown, and two of them in particular. One of them is for Cyberpunk. I have a reaction to that I kind of lose it. And my other reaction is to a certain small game, a certain Phantasy Star game, and we'll get to those moments. We will, and I'm just going to start about what I kind of thought. What did you guys think? I want to say something before I get into this. I really do. This conference, watching it and seeing all the games, I hit a certain moment when it wasn't Nintendo versus Sony versus Xbox. I was seeing a lot of different studios. A lot of these games are made for all the other platforms. And I was just very, very thankful to be a part of this great industry and play some of these wonderful games and what creativity goes into them all. And that's what I took away watching this conference, as these games are for Xbox and they're for every other console as well. A lot of them. What wonderful design studios, like what incredible work is done out there. And I mean, I kind of applauded the industry watching this. I just marveled at some of the beauty and imaginativeness that some of these games evoke. So with that being said, let's get into some of these games. I have to wear my glasses because I wrote a few notes here because I want to go in order. I'm going to start at the beginning. The Outer Worlds, they said October 25th by Obsidian. It looked pretty okay. Bleeding Edge by Ninja Theory. That was a weird style of game. It was kind of like an arena style of game, and the characters were very unusual, kind of like clownish at times and stuff like that. But I thought it looked interesting. A little bit of promise is going on there. But there's a lot of these games, I couldn't even write the titles down fast enough before we were on to the next game. I gotta say this for this conference, it was right to the point. It was game after game after game. It was not wasting any time. No embarrassing moments on stage. Nothing like that. I was kind of shocked that nothing went kind of nuts with anything on stage or somebody doing a performance and it went wrong. This always happens during E3. And to be honest with you, it was kind of nice just to see all the games, because it was able to see the games for Xbox and for other consoles, as I say. Ori looked really, really good, and that's got a release date for February 11th, 2020. I was just staring at the game. I was like, this is so gorgeous. And that's the moment I was talking about, seeing some of these games, just seeing the beauty in them. And, you know, I guess I kind of saw everything that all of the artists put into all of these games. I mean, it's remarkable. Okay, let me say something. I am not a Minecraft guy, and I liked this next game. I thought it looked interesting. Will I play it? I don't know. Minecraft Dungeons. It looked like a hack and slash dungeon exploring game in the Minecraft universe, and I'm no expert in the Minecraft universe. I've never played the game, but I have cousins and nephews that enjoy the game, and I kind of live vicariously through them. And I thought it looked interesting, getting loot and fighting monsters and caverns. I thought it was interesting. It kind of opened my imagination a little bit, and that was 2020 as well. And then Phil Spencer got onto stage. He got a bit of a standing ovation, and it's, E3 for me is seeing everybody feels like old friends. Remember when Reggie would take the stage and you'd be like, you'd so happy to see Reggie, and I was so happy to see Phil Spencer, and he came up and gave a pretty good speech. He's a great speaker on stage, and he kind of got you a little bit hyped and spoke how he's going to show 60 games and all this kind of stuff. And they started off showing some more from Jedi Fallen Order that I have not seen, and it kind of blew me away, because it starts off and you're in an AT-AT or an AT-AT, as I used to say, and it was so cool, and you're piloting it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with this game? I told you yesterday that my hype for that game was about here, like pretty high. It's just gone up another notch. I can't wait for that game. That game looks absolutely incredible. Okay, this next game, I thought it was Silent Hill. And I was sitting there going, it's Silent Hill, it's Silent Hill, it's Silent Hill, it's Silent Hill. I'm like, yes, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, the Blair Witch. And I'm like, oh, it's not Silent Hill. I'm like, well, I guess that's kind of cool. But I don't know. I was expecting something in that regard. And no, we didn't quite get that. So that was a bit of a undercooking moment. Now, this next moment was not undercooking. This next moment took me to, if something is a 10 out of 10, it took me to a 15. Now, they showed some more gameplay, some more cinematics, I should say, for Cyberpunk 2077, one of my most hyped games. Cannot wait for this. And so I'm really enjoying this, and I'm just going to say the character models, I think are some of the best I've ever seen in a video game. And the lighting, I mean, I was just like, oh, I was in awe watching it. It was just beautiful stuff, 100%. And then the cool thing is, I'm watching it and I'm just kind of like, this is great, this is amazing. I was already super happy. And then this character like kind of steps over you and he reveals himself as Keanu Reeves. And I was filming myself. I filmed myself the entire thing just in case some amazing moments happen so I can show you guys. And right now, I'm going to show you my reaction to them showing Keanu Reeves. And I just lose it. And here it goes. Oh, it's fucking Keanu Reeves. Holy motherfucker. No. No fucking way.
Please welcome Keanu Reeves.
Oh my fucking god. That was so incredible with Keanu Reeves coming on stage. I was just so overwhelmed. Just seeing John Wick 3. I really like Keanu Reeves as an actor, from The Matrix and Bill and Ted and the John Wick movies. I mean, I think he is a phenomenal actor, and I was just like blown away to see him. Come on, I didn't expect that at all. And okay, what is this next one here? Spiritfarer, a 2D animation game. This was a little bit weird, so it's kind of like characters running in 2D, and I don't quite understand it because they showed it really fast, but something where you're building homes and stuff. The one thing that I did notice, because I am an animator, that it was all hand-drawn. I could tell it was hand animated, in pencil. And so that looked really, really good. And then, for all us old school fans out there from the NES days, they showed Battletoads, and I could hear a lot of older men around the world going, yay! And hear crying and stuff like that, and it looked interesting. It looked like a lot of fun. I'm just happy that the old games that I grew up with are back again. Battletoads is no exception. Okay, what was this one here? It's some Wright game. Oh, so the Legend of Wright, with a W, was kind of like an overhead style of RPG, but it was all drawn in pencil. And I was like, what the hell is this game? Like, what is this? It was something like you doodle in your book at school while you're listening to the teacher, not paying attention to her, and you'd be drawing stuff like that. It was kind of like that kind of style, but an RPG. And I thought that looked great. I thought that looked really interesting. And then they talked about the Xbox Game Pass and how they're adding more games to it, and you can play it today for $1. I think for anybody who enjoys that kind of thing, that was kind of interesting. They showed the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the moment that I had with that game was how far we have come. And, we're going to go far in the next 100 years, I get that, but how far we've come from the old Flight Simulator days of the early 90s. I remember going over to my friends' places and seeing their dads play these flight games, and I was like, whoa, look at that. And when you think back, they were quite medieval now. And just to see what it was, I guess it was the 4K and just how sharp everything was as you're flying over certain cities. I thought that was incredible. And they talked about how they bought Double Fine, and they showed Psychonauts 2, which, that looked pretty cool. I know Psychonauts has got a huge fan base. I never really played that game. Maybe I'll get into it with the second game for sure. And then the Star Wars music started, and I'm like, oh my god, we got another Star Wars game? What is this going to be? And it's a Lego Star Wars game, including all 9 Star Wars movies in one game. And I'm like, what? Really? It's called the Skywalker Saga. And I was like, oh man, 9 Star Wars movies, 1 Lego game. Crazy. And then all of a sudden, I see my favorite Dragon Ball characters on the screen, and I'm like, what is this? Is this like a fighting game? I couldn't understand it. Like, it was different than Dragon Ball. I thought it was Dragon Ball FighterZ at first, and then I'm like, no, the angle is different. The way you're kind of like behind Goku, kind of flying behind him, I'm like, that's really weird. And it happened so fast and went by so quickly. And it was the Dragon Ball RPG, the action kind of RPG that they were talking about. It's called like Project Dragon Ball. We didn't really know what it was, and they released it as Kakarot. So, obviously we all know that name, and I'm like, and it's coming early 2020, so I think we'll hear a little bit more about it over the coming months, but that is exciting. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. Huge Dragon Ball fan. Big. And then this game was only on the screen for a few minutes, and it really, I must admit, some games were beautiful and gorgeous, but this particular game really had my attention, and it was called 12 Minutes, and it's an overhead game, and it looks like it takes place in a couple of rooms, and you're a couple, and it's something about you're trapped in a time loop, and it's weird and unusual, and I guess you kind of replay the game over and over. I'm guesstimating. I have no idea. But I think that's kind of what happens. You're living the same day over and over, and you gotta do different decisions and all that. That game was disturbing and weird. It was weird. I liked it. Way to the Woods. Oh yes, I just reminded myself. I wrote deers down so to remind myself about it. It was a couple of deers running through these levels, and it was kind of like surrealness and weird, like monsters and weird creatures around. And I sat there, and I started off talking about art and the artists that create all these games, and I was like, look at this game. And I even said when I was watching, I'm like, I don't have enough time in my life for all these incredible games. How do any of us? But we enjoy the enthusiasm of it all. Okay, next up, a man that I actually met in the summertime, and that was Rod Ferguson. And he was showing Gears of War 5, and it looked great. I wanted to see a little bit more. They showed a couple of modes, like escape mode and stuff like that, and they're going to show a little bit more of that. I don't know if I've ever talked about it enough on the channel, but I'm a big Gears of War fan, and look at this. That's signed by Rod Ferguson right there when I met him. I carried this all the way downtown to visit my friend Victor Lucas, and Rod Ferguson was down there for the day. And so cool to get that signed, and I'm a Gears of War fan. And then they showed the Terminator. I don't understand this yet. I have to figure this out. I was just watching it, and I'm like, why? I'm like, oh my God, they're copying a moment out of the Terminator. As you see all the skulls, and then the foot goes down, and I guess if you pre-order the game early, some skin or something you get. That was cool. They showed Dying Light 2, and then this one really, I honestly, this one I thought was brilliant. And they were showing Forza 4, and I was like, okay, that's cool, yeah. So I thought like some DLC or some expansion, and then they showed Lego characters rushing around, and I'm like, this makes total sense combining Lego into the Forza world, because the Forza racing aspects are brilliant, and then you just put Lego on top of it and make Lego worlds, and then you got something wonderful if you like Lego, and I definitely do. Because something called Speed Champion, I thought that was really great. They showed the State of Decay, an expansion for that, and then, folks, thank you for staying with me. For any of you who are staying with me right now, there's a certain game that got a mention that is coming out the first time in the West, and I sat there and here's my reaction to it. I'm just gonna play my reaction right now. Sega. What is this? No. Yes! fucking finally! Finally! Holy shit, turn on the Xbox! Oh my god! Oh my god! Phantasy Star Online 2. Oh my god. Phantasy Star Online 2. I couldn't have believed it. I couldn't have believed it. Free to play online as well. I mean, unbelievable. That is an E3 moment for me. It's honestly an E3 moment for me. I've never been more excited in my life. I've been waiting for some Phantasy Star for a few years, and I love Phantasy Star Online 2. I've liked watching it. Some of my friends are playing it with the, but I wanted an official release. I know I'm a stickler. I just wanted an official release. We got it. I mean, how many years has it been? And I'm worried, guys, because I know I'm not gonna be around. You're not gonna see me again. I'm just gonna be in there. Anyways, let's get through a couple of things. It showed Crossfire, Tales of Arise, finally. Unfortunately, that game got leaked. The new Tales game, it got leaked the day before yesterday. And I was like, oh my god, but let me just say this, it looks absolutely gorgeous and fantastic and beautiful and wondrous, and I think it's a brand new, beautiful direction for the Tales series, and I thought that was just incredible. Just incredible, and so looking forward to that game by Bandai Namco. Borderlands 3 they showed, where, a lot of people are hyped about that. I do like Borderlands for sure. Elden Ring, that looks really good, and that's by From Software and Bandai Namco. And, obviously the writer of Game of Thrones have gotten together to make this game. What the hell is going on? Count me in. They talked about Xbox Cloud, being able to, everybody's getting into this streaming online, streaming stuff now. It's going to be, I believe, they're really building this going forward. Everybody is, Obviously Google is going forward with that as well. And then they showed the brand new Xbox, and so it's coming out next holiday, 2020. It ships with Halo. They showed Halo. I'll talk about that in a second. They said it was 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. It's called the Scarlett. Scarlett, did I get that right? It happened so quick. I think it looks fine. I'm gonna obviously wait for games and releases. It's like, I almost am not ready for the next generation consoles. In a way I am. But in a way, I'm like, we're already there? We're already at that point already? Wow, I don't know. It just seems so fast. Time goes by quickly, right? So it has been quite a few years, but yeah, I guess you know what it has been. Usually it's we get an Xbox and then we get the next Xbox, but we got the the different version of the Xbox One X in the middle there, right? So we have the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and then we're finally getting the next Xbox, and I guess we get these middle consoles now, so it doesn't feel like, I feel like we were just fine. So yeah, it feels like a little bit soon. But what do I think about Halo? I just want to say this: I am a huge Halo fan. Especially, I got very nostalgic when they said that Halo was 18 years old. And I was like, wow, it was 18 years ago I played Halo for the first time. That changed the way I thought about first-person shooters. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't believe it. And then the great thing is that they showed the game, and what do I think? I think it looks okay. I think I need to see a little bit more about it. Show Master Chief float in space. Master Chief is always floating somewhere in space, I swear to God. And then you see the obviously the Halo's kind of destroyed a bit, so I think it looks okay. I need to see a little bit more. I'm not as excited as I used to get about seeing Halo reveals. I'm like, okay, another Halo game, cool, I'll play it, type of thing. But I'm not like, oh my God. I remember Bill Gates back in the day saying, hey, we got one more thing, and then they showed was it Halo 2, and I was like, oh my God, I'm losing it. How many Halos have we had now? But yeah, it was cool. What do I think of the conference? I think it was pretty good overall. I think they showed some exclusives. They showed a lot of games that we'll be playing on every other console, but just showing world premieres of that particular game. I had a good time. I can't grumble. I had a good time. Do you always want a little bit more? Yeah, but you know what? It was that Keanu Reeves moment and the Phantasy Star Online 2 moment did it for me. I was super excited. So what did you guys think of the conference down below? I'm very excited to see what people thought. Were they happy? Were they not happy? I have no idea. I haven't left my games room yet to enter the real world. So anyways, guys, until next time.